Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam the Ashen, and today I'm going to show you my first 10 days and 7 days to die on the new Alpha 21 build. This is kind of like a precursor to my 100 days video, which is not nearly done, so this will have to do for now. With that out of the way, let's get right into the video. First thing I did after completing the tutorial, which really hasn't changed much, was head to a trader. He had some pretty useful stuff lying around, like the new crafting skill books that help you unlock new recipes. After that, I was kicked out because it got too late, so I posted up outside and took out zombies and tried to gather some materials while I waited for the morning. After that, I went on my first quest to try to get some good rewards because I've seen a lot of people recommend to do the quest to progress very fast, so that's what I did. The sneak attack damage buff was still as crazy as ever, so for the early game, that was my main focus, was like a stealth bow build, because I could pretty much one-shot all the zombies unless they were feral, or one of the big ones. After making it into a pig farm, there was a bunch of wild hogs running around, so I made a little interior fort, and kept exploring. Then I came across a hole with some beds, and there was a nice big zombie hog waiting for me. It was similar to the zombie bear, which I knew was super deadly, so I built a little 3-high pole so I could, not get murdered by it, but it soon broke that down, and as you can see, I was pretty much screwed. Oh no, come on. I geared back up, and this time I was coming in with a plan. My plan was to hollow out the floor some so that I could see the zombie hog without actually dropping into the hole, and it was successful. I was able to do it without falling in and pick him off from the top and get my revenge. After he was dead, I could safely land inside and I could grab my bag and get all my stuff back. Then I spent way too long breaking open this chest and got pretty much nothing good. After that, I saw a supply drop on the way back to the trader, and it landed up on this roof, so I decided to build up Minecraft style and grab it. Once again, nothing too great. I decided to head out to the snow biome to increase my loot stage, and it seemed to be working pretty well. As the first wandering horde that I saw, I quickly was able to get a zombie drop. Feral zombies were quickly becoming a problem, as I hadn't had a base down yet, so my inventory was pretty much overloaded all the time, which made things pretty difficult. Upon leaving a house I just looted, I ran into a big bear and decided to get away, but then I thought, hey, I need the meat and the leather, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out. After that, I found a house, cleared it out, and decided to post up there until I could find a more permanent base location. So in the meantime, I grabbed some materials so I could craft the essentials, and then I headed out to another point of interest, and I built my way to the top, and I was able to get to the main loot without attracting the zombies somehow, and I saw a cougar fight. Back to the chest, though. I was able to break it open and loot it without any zombies coming, which was extremely lucky because I definitely would have died. You lose, cougar. After trying to fight a wolf, I kind of failed miserably and was on the brink of death. On the bright side, though, I'd be more cautious and wouldn't do anything stupid or risky for a while. Luckily, I lived. Fast forward, I decided to take on a cougar. Pretty smart and safe, right? Yeah, I didn't know they had this Spider-Man ability to just jump anywhere they wanted, pretty much. I thought I was safe on the roof. Not the case. Ooh! If you haven't noticed by now, there's a weird audio glitch where there's either no audio at all, or there's a fuzzy background noise when my mic wasn't even plugged in. This seems to have been fixed with the Alpha 21 B17 update, but the Alpha 21 B13 update, it still had that problem. Now, this could be a problem with my computer, my system, but from everything I've looked up, it seems to be a fairly common problem, so I'm pretty sure that it's the game. Anyways, I made it to the trader and posted up outside like I did last time, took out any zombies that I could, and tried to farm up some materials while I waited. And then once it was morning, it was straight to quest time. It was also day 7, which snuck up on me pretty quickly. So I hurried up and built a horde base, which was a mix of 2 that I found on YouTube. It was thrown together pretty quickly, so don't judge it. Feels like the base was not going to be stout enough. So I hurried up and added 2 more layers just to try to make it thicker in case the zombies did not go where I wanted them to go. Also, as a bonus, I was getting a ton of XP from upgrading all the base, and that came in handy for Horde Night 2. After upgrading and getting it done, I still had some time left over, so I decided to go out and scavenge. Luckily for me, in a shotgun Messiah crate, I found an AK, which would be perfect for Horde Night because so far all I had was a pistol and a little double barrel, and I also found a tactical assault rifle. I went ahead and stocked up on some food and drinks so that I was good to go once the zombies started rolling in. After making it back to the horde base, the horde had finally started coming in, and at first it seemed to be working pretty well, but the zombies quickly piled up, so I was forced to bring out the AK. And then I noticed I heard some chunks breaking, which meant that the base wasn't doing as well as I thought, and the zombies were actually starting to break in, which was bad news for me. Either a flaw in design or my own fault, I wasn't able to repair the parts that were damaged, so soon enough they smashed on through. Luckily, I had a failsafe, which was these hatches, which bought me some time, so I was able to heal up and not immediately die. And luckily, they kind of came in one by one as they had trouble getting past that initial part, and I was able to pick them off fairly easily. Before I knew it, the horde night was over and I had survived. But this was only the first wave, so it would surely get much harder. Went to the bottom, grabbed my loot bags, finished off any stragglers, and decided that I would make my base pretty close by since the trader was right there. It seemed like a pretty good spot. After I got all my loot from the horde night put up, I went out to transfer my loot from my old makeshift base back to my new one. The journey wasn't too long, it was only about 500 meters away, so I was able to move everything there and back in pretty much a day. Now that the Alpha 21B17 update was out, it seemed like the sound problem had been fixed. Man, is it nice to have the sound back. I went ahead over to the next town to try to get some loot, set up my pillars, and put a chest there so I would have some extra space. Luckily for me, I already got a drop from a zombie, so things were looking good. I went to a POI, and it was getting pretty hectic down there, and I had to break through a stone wall, so I put a door there so I didn't get overrun by zombies super quickly. And there was a lot more than I thought. Luckily, I had a good combo going of the stun taser baton mixed with a spear headshot. Then I found a magnum, which was huge, one of my favorite guns for sure. Then I opened the safe, which was pretty much garbage. Finishing up the point of interest, some zombies jumped off the roof, deciding they didn't want legs anymore, and I also fell off the truck, but luckily I was able to make it to safety at the dumpster. Finally, I finished it off with some farming because luckily for me, I found a steel pickaxe and one of the loot drops, which was huge. I totally skipped the whole iron stage altogether. Alrighty everyone, that pretty much does it for today. I apologize for the sound issues, that pretty much never happens. I couldn't find a workaround for it, so I had to kind of work around it. If you still like the video, in spite of that, leaving a like or a comment really helps out a lot. And if you want to see a channel that continuously gets better, subscribing to my channel is a great way to do that. I really appreciate you watching, and hopefully I see you next time. Have a good one.